all happened when I finally got to a stage of life that I couldn't shake this habit off. I was causing pain to my family, my jobs, my life. And this all happened in an 8th Street motel, which is where I met Jesus. I was 40 years old, strung out, and I didn't want to live no more. I didn't want to live no more. I love people, but I was hurting them. And I was hurting myself. And I really couldn't shake this addiction. And so I decided to grab a bunch of cocaine and a bottle of liquor, go into a motel room, and end my life. Didn't want to live no more. I'm telling you before God, He knows I didn't want to live no more. I just failed. That's the way I felt. Failed. I believed that I was worthless. And at that time, you know, I was seeing things, hallucinating, whatever, and you know, I was seeing demonic spirits in my mind because all the drugs and everything I was taking. I said, you know what, whatever. You know, I was like talking and I said, listen now, if you are the devil, I'll never bow down before you, whatever. And I swallowed a bag of cocaine. And when I swallowed that,
you swallowed it.
I swallowed it, Oscar. Wow. I swallowed it, and I started overdosing. And while I was overdosing, I fell to the floor outside the motel room, and I tried to speak. I was out of air, and I was asking somebody to call 911. I'm overdosing. And I fell on the ground. And I felt my body as I couldn't move it. I was paralyzed. And I knew I was dying. I was getting dim. It was getting dark. And I felt as my soul was coming out of my body. I felt like I was leaving the ground. In fact, I saw my hands under here, and I looked down and I saw pitch black. I mean, there was nothing there, but it was pitch black. I knew I was dying. And I started calling out, Jesus, help me. Jesus, help me. I just started calling out, Jesus, help me. And I heard this voice, like a thought in my mind. It's just a sweet voice. I heard, Roger. Roger, get up. Get up. Satan is a liar. It's what I heard. He says, read the Bible. You're going to understand it more than ever. You're going to bring me souls. I've already prepared a place for you. Get up. Get up. I got up. Listen, if I know everybody doesn't believe, and I love you no matter what, but this really happened to me. I got up. And I looked around, and it's a longer story than that. I tried to go to the hospital. They checked my blood. The doctor says, if that was true, you should be dead.
You got up without any help?
I got up.
I got up,
and I'm walking around. I'm looking. In fact, there was a guy that had his hat backwards, you know, and he was sweeping the floor with this vacuum thing. And I said in my mind, God, if this was real, can you make him take his hat off and throw it in a garbage can? I mean, I want a confirmation. I'm clear like this, the way you are me, clear, nothing, it's gone. And I look, and the guy was still cleaning. I said, no problem. I went to go inside the motel room, it was locked. So when I turned around to walk away, I heard turn around. And when I turned around, the man had his hat in his hand. He was wiping his forehead, and he threw it in a garbage can. And then he looks at me like I didn't want to embarrass him. I walked away. I go, no, I can't believe this happened. I went to the doctor that day. He told me, go see a psychologist because if that was true, you should be dead. I went to a psychologist, and he told me, well, if you believe in Jesus, stay that way, you'll be okay. I tried to come home, and of course, my wife already had a restraining order saying, I'm done with your life. See, I took a lot of money when I went on that trip. I thought I was going to die, and I didn't die. Now I'm walking around trying to convince my wife that I heard God. Sure, you heard God. Sure, go with God and leave my house. Now I'm on the streets. At 40 years old, I'm in the streets. My children were here crying. Poppy's leaving. He's not coming back. I said, I'm coming back. Relax. So I was sitting in a motel room, and for a couple of days went by thinking, what am I going to do? And at that moment, my tears were coming out of my eyes, and I was just thinking, I said, God, remember when I was a kid, and I would be disciplined by my father because I was a very wild kid, well-deserved. And I would go to my room and cry like this, and my tears will fall just like this. Do you remember? At that moment, I felt this bright light come in my room, really bright, really bright. But I wasn't scared, and I heard that same voice I heard 3 days ago when I was on the ground, and it said, I cried with you. Cry with me? Long story short, he tells me, Janet loves you, my wife's name. You're going home. I'm going home. There was a time I thought he said, I'm going home. So I put the Bible in my chest. Okay, I'm ready to go home. I know what he's talking about. He goes, you're going home. The next day I came here and my life changed. My wife let me in. We spoke about it. I never looked back. It's been 14 years straight that I've been walking with Jesus Christ.